WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, is a port of, well, you guessed it, an arcade game. And you would know that even without me saying it, just when you start playing the game. The way it looks, the way it plays, it feels like an arcade game. You feel like you should be putting quarters into your console every 10 minutes or so. It's a good fighting arcade game, but it's not really a good wrestling game because it doesn't feel very much like wrestling. It's a lot more like an arcade fighter. In fact, most of the attacks are punches and kicks. You do, of course, have throws, you have running into the ropes, all of the stuff from wrestling, but everything is like really over the top. And wrestling is like already over the top. WWF, WWE, it's all fake. It's all crazy flips, you know, like the Hardy Boys from the 90s, that's what it is. This game takes over the top to a new level. You can punch guys like 15 feet in the air. When you toss someone out of the ring, it doesn't feel like you're tossing a 250-pound steroid man. It feels like you're tossing a 10-pound bag of groceries because they literally fly out of the ring like a hurricane picked them up. Like they're Bill Paxton in Twister. Rest in peace. The graphics look really good, and you have some of your favorite wrestlers from the early to mid 90s in the game. The graphics seem to use like real bodies of people, but just like digitized for a game, kind of like the way Mortal Kombat is. But I would argue this looks even better than Mortal Kombat, not just in terms of the likenesses of the people, but the fact that they're likenesses of real people, you know, real WWF superstars. I know some of them, and some of them I just have no idea who they are. Like this one guy who's a clown. I can't imagine this shtick lasted for very long. There's no way this guy was ever a giant superstar like The Undertaker. There's nothing cool about a clown. It might be like a wacky one-off character a wrestler would maybe do for like a year or something, but I can't imagine making a career out of being a clown in the ring. When it was ported from the arcade to the 32X, it was also ported to like a trillion different consoles. Like literally any console you can think of from the mid-90s, this game was ported to, and that's a really smart business strategy. I never get like games that come out for one console, or even ports that only come out for like one console. Think of how much more money you would make. Think of how much of a bigger audience you would reach if you release your game for a bunch of different consoles versus giving one console exclusive rights. Forget about the fact that it hurts gamers who only have one console. The actual creators of the game are losing tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars by not releasing on all the major consoles. That's not capitalism, daddy. I really do think this is one of the better ports from an arcade to a console that I've seen. The game just looks great. It feels like it kept all the graphics, all the music, and all the sound effects from the arcade. Obviously, some things will be lost in transition, but overall, it just feels like you're playing an arcade game, which is awesome. Playing an arcade game without having 5 pounds or quarters in your pocket, this isn't a good wrestling game just because the combat doesn't feel like wrestling. It's way too over the top, even for fake professional wrestling, but it is a great fighting game and a great arcade port. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more classic game reviews. Goodbye, my friends.